Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to this week's video.
Another one.
So we are running about 6 weeks behind. So we are wrapped up warm on a chilly afternoon cruising.
It's quite chilly. It's windy.
It's windy as well, isn't it? But this video was back in September. When we were travelling up the Shropshire Union Canal to get here.
Well, hey, and here is here.
It's quite a lot of content in it. We had a rescue mission.
No, hi, you know who you are.
And some wet locks yet again. Some cake at the top of the locks.
Yum yum.
And got to Norbury Junction.
And you'll have to watch and see.
See what the talk is.
Yeah, all I'll go is do that.
So we hope you enjoy it. We hope you find it interesting. Your turn.
Oh, apparently I've got to do something. Push the button, ring the bell. It's free to you and us. Sorry, I'm paying attention. I'm doing my job. I'm a man.
We'll see you at the end. Bye.
In a bit.
Interesting when you come onto a new piece of canal built by a different company, the bridges take a different look. So we've been used to lots of very low small bridges, and here we've got much bigger bridges. Got the Rothgen contractors busy carrying out the CRT work here. The equipment's hired off Rothgen anyway, that's what it says on their boat, but they've all got CRT tops on. So it's probably CRT workers with Rothgen equipment. They're putting a new hoarding along the side of the canal on the towpath, and a bit further up they've replaced some of the hoarding on the actual canal bank itself as well. Just to prove work does get done on the canals. The Shropshire Union, otherwise known as the Shroppy, is 66 miles long, and it runs from the junction, Alderley Junction, near Wolverhampton, on the Staffs and Worcester Canal, up to the River Mersey, Manchester Ship Canal, and the River Mersey at Ellesmere Port. It's 66 miles long, it's got 69 locks, and it's also got Middlewich Branch, Llangollen and Montgomery Canals are all part of it, and the now disused Newport branch as well. There is a shelf on lots of the canal, which makes it difficult to moor up in some places, but equally for the short distance, about 5 or 6 miles that we've done already, there is also ample Armco that you can moor up against as well. We're just coming up to a small market town called Brewood. There's a footpath off to it, just at this next bridge, which is Bridge 12. There's a co-op there and various other small shops you'd find in a market town, and that is a 2-mile walk from where we were moored at Bridge 8 for the weekend. We haven't done any cruising over the weekend, it's now Tuesday. We spent a lovely weekend with our friends Lou and Dave on Narrowboat changing pace, and then we didn't cruise yesterday out of respect for the Queen as it was her funeral. So we've got moving again today, and we're aiming to get up to Norbury Junction today. There's lots of water stops along the way, so when we get to one that's not too busy, we're going to fill up with water, and we can run the washing machine on our travels too. That's Brewood just there on our starboard side. We've just come through the lock at Wheaton Aston, and we've stopped to fill the water. There's 4 water points here, so there's plenty of space for everyone to stop that wants to.
Hi.
say hello to George, our newest animal to be added to our collection on our roof. You can really see the changing colours of autumn as we come along here. Lots of reds and browns in the hedgerow now. We've had some more up. There's a gentleman whose mobility scooter has somehow ended up in the canal. He is absolutely fine. He's not in the water, he's on the side, but we're just stopping to help retrieve it out of the water. Too much. So, unfortunately, sometimes never a dull moment on the canals.
Just a bit of a story.
So, as you saw very briefly, we got to Bridge 28, there was a boat underneath it, and that was underneath it because...
I was going to curse and swear because they weren't moving, and I thought they were magnet fishing.
Yeah, but it turned out a poor elderly gentleman taking his dogs for a walk on the towpath on his electric scooter had hit a rut, and him and his scooter had landed in the canal. Thankfully he is okay, he's obviously shaken up and shocked, but he was actually out of the canal by the time we got there, and the other boat reportedly had got himself out of the canal. But the mobility scooter was still in the canal, which was an absolute dead weight, wasn't it, to try and get out?
Which was what I thought was the magnet fishing. They'd actually turned around and managed to hook the scooter with a nappy pin, which is one of the mooring pins that we have, to pull it upright.
But we gave the gentleman a blanket, some dry clothes and a cup of tea to sort him out.
Hot water bottle.
And a hot water bottle to try and warm him up, and he did stop shivering in the end. And then there was 4 boats, I think, of us stopped there in the end, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And all the guys got off and finally managed to drag the scooter out. Someone had gone and found this gentleman's daughter, because they do live on a boat on the canal, so they'd gone and found her and she'd arrived. So one of the other boats that was going the other way has now taken him to the bridge where the daughter has parked, and she'll take him back to the boat and make sure he's okay.
We'll check on him tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got her phone number so we can check on him tomorrow.
But everything happens for a reason.
It
4
does.
boats, you never know when.
So lucky there was boats coming along. Doesn't bear thinking about what might have happened otherwise.
Talking of boats, I'm going to be rude because I've got a boat coming at me.
Another boat trader here as well. Ironmonger's boat. Fenders, pins, ropes and mooring chains. So the end of our first full day on the Shropshire.
Yep, it's been an interesting one.
Apart from the incident at the bridge, it's been a fantastic day, hasn't it?
We haven't hit a bridge at all.
It's been beautiful. It's a beautiful canal, and
Yes.
we've lost count of how many kingfishers we've seen,
We've
haven't
probably
we?
seen 7+.
Yeah, we've seen loads, and it's just stunning. It's peaceful, it's scenic. It's been a really, really nice day.
It has. Sorry, I'm paying attention to boats coming the other way.
It has been reasonably busy, but we've had busier days.
Yeah,
Bye.
you okay, yeah? Fantastic. See you later.
We've had busier days, and we're just going to find somewhere to moor
And
hopefully
just like
now.
Birmingham, they're oh so pleasant.
Yeah, lovely people. We're just coming up to Norbury Junction, like I say, and hopefully we'll find space to moor. In fact, I can see loads of space to moor.
Food.
And yeah, as it is gone 6 o'clock now, later than we anticipated. Paul's not going to cycle back for the van tonight. He's going to get up in the morning and do that.
Have a full day of activities.
And I'm not going to run today. Run tomorrow whilst Paul's getting the van. And we need to find a food shop tomorrow because we're almost out of food.
We might get that at Market Drayton.
I think we're going to find a pub for tea tonight.
Oh yes, please.
Morning, we're just leaving the busy Norbury Junction. There's lots that goes on here. There's hire boats for holidays and day hire here. There's been a few of those go up and down the canal this morning, and And then just here on our starboard side are a couple of boats currently undergoing restoration called Berkhamsted and Bayton, and they're being restored by the Shrewsbury and Newport Canals Trust.
Bayton's the one on the nearest to the quayside.
Bayton is the one on the far side, Berkhamsted's the one on this side.
Only because it's half written on the paper.
I'll pop a link below with further information if you're interested in those. And we've got all the holiday boats moored up here. There's a chandlery over on the starboard side, and then under this bridge on our port side is a mooring area, several boats down there, and a couple of the fuel boats are moored down there as well.
The dry paint dock.
And the dry paint dock too. Got the junction in here as well, but unfortunately that was closed last night, being Tuesday night, so we walked a couple of miles to Woodseeds and had a lovely meal in a pub called the Cock-Inn. Again, I'll put the link down below. We've just come under Bridge 38, lots of boats moored on both sides. Starboard side are permanent moorings, and then there's a combination of short-term moorings and longer-term moorings on the port side as well. Bridge 39 is very unusual. It's a double-arched bridge and has got a telegraph pole in it. We're just over 2 miles outside of Market Drayton, and in the Nicholson's guide there's Woodseeds Cut, which is just under a mile long and can be quite narrow in places and not always places to pass, and we're just heading towards it. So once we get under this next bridge we're going to stop and have a look, see what we think, if we can see passing places, or if we need to walk the cut first to make sure there's nothing else coming the other way. So you can see how narrow the cut is. There is a couple of boats quite a way up it. I think they're going away from us. I'm just going to walk down and make sure that is the case, make sure it's clear to come through, and then I can phone Paul and let him know. Paul's just coming through the cutting. There is a boat under the bridge that can quite plainly see him coming, so I'm not quite sure why he hasn't waited for us. Hopefully there might just about be enough room for them both to pass. So there's 3 boats just trying to get through before Paul comes this way. Hopefully they will manage to pass. It is a very muddy towpath that I've come along to check it out and warn them that he was coming through. We were planning on running back this way to collect the van tomorrow, but I think we might have to find a diversion around the towpath. Now the traffic jam of boats has gone, Paul's almost here and I can get back on the boat and we can carry on our journey. Here we are, top of Autumn Locks, flight of 15, about to start them. And to keep us going on the way down, there's Panda's Pantry of cakes, pork pies, ice cream, drinks and an honesty box, so I'll have to get some scones. Clouds are also building, so are we going to make it down the locks, all 15 of them, before the rain starts? And we've got a swan here as well, just to make sure we behave. We've got to lock 5. It is still dry at the moment. Got all excited because we spotted a couple of lockies, and disappointment, they're knocking off for the day. Hey ho, on we go. Lock number 10, with an old building next to it, which was very likely a toll collecting booth. And we've got the wood-fired pizza boat coming up the locks now as well, which are likely heading to the festival at Margaret Drayton this weekend. We managed to get to lock 11 of 15 before it started raining, so that's not too bad really. We've got Audlam Mill here, which once we've found somewhere to moor, we'll walk back up, have a look at the mill and the village. And then just here is the Shropshire Fly, which unfortunately, after 200 years of being here on the canal side, has now had to close, which is really sad.
That's what we've been told.
It's also along here, we are in the Weaver Valley, and there's the Weaver Way walk, which is signposted along the lock flight that we've just come down. I'll put the link below for that. And there's also an old loading crane here next to the canal as well. Here we are, bottom of Audlam locks, lock number 15 at bridge number 79. There are some nice moorings just the other side of the bridge apparently, so hopefully we'll stop there. It's only rained the last 4 locks, so that's not too bad. There's a lock garden on that side, and here Paul comes with the boat. So we'll moor up, go and have a look at the village, and then dry off. So we hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, kingfisher going to the bright. It's just gone into them trees. Sorry, it's like you've got to point them out when you see them, but you didn't see it because the camera's facing the wrong way.
Well, I hope you did manage to see the one on the video. It was a bit distant, but hopefully you managed to see it.
And you're now going to say, no, that's a cygnet, aren't you?
Yes, there is a swan there.
There's a kingfisher there, I promise you. So, did you enjoy it?
So it was packed full of content, lots happened.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the gentleman that had fallen in the canal was absolutely fine.
On the top of the post, look.
So we spoke to the gentleman's daughter who had fallen in the canal the following day, and he was absolutely fine, which was really good. It was a bit of a traumatic day though, wasn't it?
It was an interesting day.
Yeah, very emotional.
But, as a result, the pub was shut.
Yes, so we were going to go to have tea. We asked Mr. Google about the pub at Norbury Junction, and it was meant to have been open, and we got there and it wasn't. So talk this week.
Always ring ahead to make sure your food is going to be served.
Don't rely on Mr. Google to be accurate with opening times. So yeah, we had a 2-mile walk. The pub we found was nice at the end.
It was an entertaining 2-mile walk.
Yes, it was on country lanes.
Coming back.
Country lanes and fields.
Well, we had a very good deal. And we met a man and a lady who joined in the conversation about our pudding and the coffee. And like, it's amazing where people come from, just down the road from you.
Yes, it's a very small world at times.
Very much so.
Next week's video will be continuation of our journey up the Shropshire.
I thought you were going to say it's my turn.
It is now.
Oh, push the button, ring the bell, it's free to you and me.
Said that with so much enthusiasm.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was concentrating on not crashing into this boat.
We are passing a boat, so I'll let him off. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Hope you have a good one.
Take care, be careful, see you next week.